Welcome to Live Better Longer. I'm your host, Bill Bort. My guest today is Anthony Cinotti, who's the founder of the National Association of Senior Advocates. Anthony is passionate about protecting seniors and all Americans from financial abuse, from scam artists, and people who are holding themselves out to be professionals in different service areas, but that either lack the qualifications or the ethics. Anthony, it's great to have you here as my guest today.
Thanks, Bill.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about how NAOSA came to be.
Well, basically, life and professional experiences. And we've all had bad experiences with different professions and ripped off or scammed in some way or another. And really, there isn't any recourse, there hasn't been any recourse for the consumer. So through life experiences and also my professional experiences, I've worked with seniors for quite some time. I currently work with the retirement community. I've done that for over 7 years. I've seen a lot of bad stuff happen. And it's with professionals in a bunch of different industries where they take advantage of people, and the people unknowingly are being taken advantage of. The challenge is a lot of these things that are going on in these different professions aren't illegal. And so there is no recourse with consumers. And I can give you a lot of different examples about it, but myself and our board decided to do something about it. This is now going on a 4-year project where we studied industries and we looked at what wasn't ethical going on in different industries, and we vetted it and we asked experts in those industries to give us their opinion.
So industries like mortgages and
mortgages,
real estate and
yeah, you name it. Real estate, insurance, legal, the trades, long-term care insurance. Big thing now is I call senior housing brokers, where they will help find a place for your loved one if your loved one's struggling at home, and just educating people on that industry and what to look out for and that type of thing. So it's been a 4-year project. It's been fantastic. And we formed the National Association of Senior Advocates. The mission of our organization is to educate and advocate for not only seniors, but all consumers, but also advocate for ethical professionals, people who do things the right way. Because a lot of times there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's people not doing the right thing, and the good people have a really hard time differentiating themselves from those who aren't doing the right thing. So we created this platform to allow professionals to stand out from people who aren't doing what they should be.
So if people want to find out more about NAOSA, they can go to naosa.org.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And if they want to contact you, or if they want to become a member, they can do that on the website, correct?
Absolutely. Reach the website at naosa.org. We have memberships. The membership to the consumer is free. There's great information on there. There's best practices on there we call gold standards of professional practice, with a bunch of different industries that we've researched. There's a scam alert that consumers can sign up for, where there's a scam in their area, they'll get emailed and say, hey, look out for the IRS scam, for example. That's a great one. And our goal is to get all the information out to as many consumers as possible, so they're educated, so they're not scammed, and they know what's going on and what questions to ask when they're working with these different professions. Yep.
So how have you been finding people? In other words, have you been using social media?
Basically, social media is how we're getting the word out today, through Facebook, also through LinkedIn. We're throwing some information out there, articles that we see, just educating people. We're about ready to start publishing the gold standards of professional practice. We have published them, but we're going to start pushing them out via Facebook and that as well, just to get the word out to people.
Great. Well, social media is terrific when it's used appropriately. I mean, we met through LinkedIn.
Absolutely. You're
And
right.
I've had
You're
the pleasure and the honor of being on your advisory board for about a year now and helped with some of the gold standards. So,
Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, it's been wonderful.
well, I'm very passionate as well.
I know you are.
So,
Yeah.
of course, I don't have as much time to spend on it as you do.
Right.
So,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so you also have professional memberships.
We do. Yep. So professional memberships, we want to attract good people into our organization. We're a platform for ethical professionals to stand out from non-ethical ones. And there's a lot of ethical professionals out there, and the unethical ones make it bad for everybody, basically. So we want to attract good people to join our association who agree with these best practices that we've set up and who agree to abide by these best practices. And we want them to join our association. We're creating a national network of good, ethical professionals who are doing the right thing. It's fantastic, it really is. And whenever I talk to a professional and they get it, it's incredible. I've talked to so many good people about it. So the professionals will join and they become part of this network of really great people. Initially, it still is a membership into our association, but there's been a lot of demand for networking opportunities because good people want to work with other good people. And it's starting to evolve into that as well.
Well, in all service and professional fields or industries, there's good people and bad people, but the bad people seem to get all the attention, and it makes it difficult for the good people.
Really does, and but one bad thing happens in one industry, it's everywhere. It's on the internet, it's on the news. Then the 80% of the people are doing the right thing or more, they have to deal with that. And this is a platform to hopefully help those people.
Well, I'm going to want to talk a little bit more about the professional membership and how people get that, but we're going to take a break now for a word from our sponsor. I'm Bill Borton, your host of Live Better Longer. We'll be back in a few moments with more with Anthony Cinotti from NAOSA. Welcome back to Live Better Longer. I'm your host, Bill Borton, here with Anthony Cinotti, the founder of the National Association of Senior Advocates. Anthony, so I want to talk to you about the gold standards.
Sure.
So tell me about some of them.
Well, I mentioned best practices, and we develop best practices in these various industries. We call them the gold standards of professional practice. And what they are, they're best practices. Our board and myself, we investigated unethical things going on in these various professions. We put it all together in a document. What we did then was bringing out two professionals in those industries, along with one question. Tell me what the unethical people do in your industry that you do not do. So we had all this research and we put out with that one question, and we received a great feedback from people in the industry.
So you started with finding out what the problems are.
Exactly.
And what you don't want.
Exactly.
And then basically flipped to the other side of the coin and determined, all right, well, if that's what you want to avoid, how do you do that? What are the appropriate ways of behaving?
Right, and what we did, we asked professionals in those fields, does this make sense? Do you see this going on? And again, what else do you see going on in those industries? And the beauty of that is the good people want to tell you what's going on in those industries. And the big part about the gold standards is that they were not created by myself or the board members. They were created by professionals in those industries. So these are best practices in these various industries that we represent as put forth by experts in those industries.
Well, I was honored to participate in helping to create the gold standards for long-term care insurance.
Right.
Which was a pleasure. And also, we've been working with Don Graves around the reverse mortgages, or HECMs.
Exactly.
Which I think is going to provide a lot of value for your members.
Right, and Don's been fantastic, you've been fantastic, and again, you guys are experts in what you do, and you want to get the word out.
Well, you're a good man with a good cause and a good organization.
Oh, thanks.
You deserve support.
Everybody appreciates it. And the reverse mortgage is a great example. A lot of bad press on reverse mortgages, and that was from years and years ago. And Don's really educated me on this. And there is a place for reverse mortgages.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's about educating people, but more importantly, on the education part, or just as important, is making people understand that what you should look out for with the unethical people. And so it just makes people more comfortable knowing, okay, reverse mortgages are appropriate, and here's when they're appropriate. Not appropriate every single time, obviously, but they do fit into one's financial plan. Yeah.
So a consumer can go on your website, and if they're considering long-term care insurance or an attorney or a real estate agent to list a home or something like that, they can see what the best practices are. They can look up the gold standard under that particular service or profession, right?
Correct.
And see pretty much step by step what they should be expecting.
Yes, they can do two things, well, more than two, but as far as looking for a professional, we have a professional finder of members We have members in 10 states now who have agreed to be upheld by these standards. All the members are vetted. They are background checked. We do a wide search on the internet looking for any complaints. And they also sign and they agree to be upheld by these gold standards of professional practice. If we see anything in their background that would look to be not ethical, they're not allowed to join. If they violate any of the gold standards, they're kicked out immediately from the organization. We're very pro-business. We take a long time to make sure it's legitimate. And if it's a mistake, that's okay. But 2 mistakes is not okay.
Yeah, I
It's
understand.
how we look at
Having
it.
been in the insurance business for many years,
Right.
sometimes it's the consumer's fault.
Exactly.
But it's
yeah.
never the consumer's fault, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're pro-business, very, very pro-business. So we're not just going to reject somebody because of that. We want to make sure it's good people.
So you made a good point, and that is, if somebody's a scam artist or they're not an ethical professional, they're likely not going to want to join NAOSA.
No, in fact, we're not a magnet for unethical people. We're it's the exact opposite. If you're not doing the right thing, I think the last thing you want to become a member of is the National Association of Senior Advocates. And you do try to become a member, we're going to
find out.
We're going to find out.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to join as a professional member,
Yeah.
they go onto the homepage of the website,
Right.
to the link to becoming a member.
Right.
You get the drop down and they hit professional member.
Right.
And then they fill in some basic information.
Zip code search, what they're
and
looking for.
it comes into your team, right?
Yep.
And that's when you begin the vetting process.
Exactly.
And then if you find that they are complaint free and have a clean record, you then send back to them the code of conduct for them to sign off on.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, as part of the enrollment process, they have to agree to the code of conduct, the ethics, and the specific gold standards. And what I really want to emphasize, getting back to the gold standards, is a lot of industries have their associations, and you have to be ethical. It's ethics, it's a broad term, and there aren't any specifics in a lot of these organizations. So we're the only organization that's actually define ethical behaviors to a certain degree, to a large degree. And so we really define what you can or can't do. And some associations have done that, many have not. So we're the first of our kind.
Now, you've had some consumers that have contacted you to thank you, have you not?
We have. The beauty of the gold standards is any consumer can use them in any situation when they're dealing with that particular professional. To say we don't have a lawyer in Texas, for example, they can still take our gold standards out, and when they speak to an attorney, they can have the attorney agree to these best practices, and there shouldn't be a problem. If the attorney won't agree with that, then you go find another attorney. So it's a wonderful tool. It's very satisfying. It really is.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take another break for another word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more Live Better Longer. Welcome back to Live Better Longer. I'm your host, Bill Borton, here with Anthony Cinotti from the National Association of Senior Advocates. So, Anthony, professional members have been joining on a continuous basis. There seems to be no slowdown. In fact, the pace is picking up, isn't it?
It is picking up a lot, yes.
You said you've got people from 10 states at this point?
10 states now.
Now, most of the growth has been centered around the Baltimore, D.C. area and the greater Philadelphia area. But again, it is starting to expand. The word's getting out there.
It is.
So if anybody would like to become a member, a professional member of NAOSA, again, go to the website, or they can reach out to you by phone too, correct?
Yes.
And so if they want to learn more, there is a cost to become a professional member, which helps fund the organization's aims and goals, correct?
Yes.
And so again, that helps to show the professional member's commitment as well.
Exactly.
So as a result of them becoming a professional member, they get a bio, a profile on your website, correct?
Yes.
And then they can be searched by what, zip code or state?
Zip codes or profession or both.
Okay.
Just your standard search, and we have a number of different professions. So just you use your zip code and you do a mile radius, 5, 10, 20 standard search on the professional finder.
So if somebody wants to become a professional member and they are a realtor in the Baltimore area, they would reach out to you through the website,
Yes.
go through your process of
Right.
accrediting them as an ethical professional,
Exactly.
pay a dues to belong, and then they would then create their profile on the website.
Exactly.
And then it gets posted, and now they're available to be found.
Exactly.
And so there's an opportunity for you to be serving the public and for people to get business as a result. So everybody wins, right?
Everybody wins, and that's the whole goal. We're pro-consumer and we're pro-business, and those two don't have to collide, right? And that's what it's all about.
So the consumer members, again, in addition to having a place to go find out whether there's someone in their area that can help them with a particular issue, as you said before the break, even if there's someone that no one is a member of NAOSA in their area, they can review the gold standards on the particular profession that they're looking into, and then hold whoever they're speaking to accountable to those gold standards, correct?
Yes, they can print a PDF of every gold standard, and they can present it to whatever professional they're speaking with, and there's a signature page on the bottom.
Aha. So
yeah.
this is another way to recruit professional members as well,
Absolutely.
or to protect people.
Well, both. The goal was both. The goal was both. And the beauty is we are attracting, I've said this before, good people. And it's growing because good people want to introduce other good people who they're comfortable doing business with, who they know will do the right thing for their clients. So many networks are now forming in these various states of really good people who are comfortable working with one another. And they know if I refer to this individual that their clients are going to be taken care of. So it's fantastic.
Well, there's no shortage of the need for what you're doing. And there are many ethical professionals in a lot of different services and professions. And I know I'm anxious to help you grow your base because I'm looking to see this grow nationwide and to get a lot of depth in every area. And again, it's going to take time.
It does.
But I know you're very passionate, and you don't eat or sleep much, do you?
Well, I do eat, but I don't sleep much. No, but it's great. It is a passion of mine, and again, it's a passion of a lot of people. You see her so much in the news about people getting scammed, and that's the illegal stuff, which we definitely publicize that as well. But it's the not the legal stuff that is really hurting a lot of people as well.
So you do have an advisory board, I know,
We do.
because if you go to the website and you look it up, you'll actually find me on
Yes,
there.
yes.
So how many members do you have? What, about 10 or 12 members of the advisory board?
I don't know, last count is about 10, I believe. We're adding, as we add professions, we're adding experts on the advisory board in those particular professions. We're going to add reverse mortgages probably in about a month or so once the final vetting takes place, and we'll have some great people on our board representing that as well.
That sounds really terrific.
Yeah.
So if there are people that want to help you grow NAOSA, you're looking for help there as well, are you not?
We are. Any professional in the area who is tired of competing with unethical individuals or who wants to advocate for their clients. Again, we have other professionals that aren't in the same industry that they are, and so if they walk into a client's house, the client's looking for a will or a trust, they have these gold standards they can share with the client to make sure they're treated well. Same with real estate, same with insurance, the trades, a number of different industries.
So having consumers that become members want to recommend people that they work with for their car insurance or their legal needs or whatever, they should recommend that they contact you.
Absolutely, and they can fill out a form on our website. If we don't have a professional in their area, they can request one as well.
Okay, and then that enables you to put the call out in that area. So there's all kinds of ways of getting to the same place.
There is.
But people who are already professional members, you're looking for them to help recommend people that they know and that they collaborate with in their area that are in different professions as well.
And that's how we keep quality. I want to make sure that these professionals are vetted, and the best way to do this, besides everything else we do, is to get referred from current members, because they're there, they see them, they know.
What we refer to as the know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that transfer of trust is so important when you're dealing in any business.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Well, Anthony, it's been terrific having you on the show. I'm excited for NAOSA and for you, and I'm thrilled to be part of your advisory board and helping you to continue to grow the NAOSA and to fulfill your mission.
Great.
So
Great.
looking forward to perhaps having you back on a little bit further down the road to update our viewers about how the growth is going as you expand nationally.
I would love to. Love to.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Anthony.
All right.
Take care. Bill Borton, your host for Live Better Longer, thanking you for your time and attention. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 11 on RVN TV again for more Live Better Longer. Thank you.